right, and I'm here now with Jeremy. Jeremy, here in Amboy at a car show, but he got here a little bit different way. So, Jeremy, how did you get here today?
Yeah, so always wanted to come to Amboy. I mean, I've been here in various cars over the years, to Roy's, but this time at a classic car show, the Inaugural car show, I knew there was going to be a lot of vintage cars, and I don't own any vintage cars. I do have a vintage aircraft, so I flew my 1955 Cessna and landed on the runway that's just behind us to enter into the contest here with my vintage, freshly restored aircraft.
Wow, 1955 Cessna.
Yeah, Cessna 180. So it's a classic in its own. It's a backcountry aircraft. So unpaved strips like this are very common for a Cessna 180, and just finished going through all the mechanicals on it. Repainted it last year. It's in pristine shape.
Wow. Okay, so how long have you had your plane?
My second aircraft. I've owned this one for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Bought it, needed some work, worked on it, had a bird strike, had to do some more work, rebuilt almost everything on the aircraft over the past 5 years, and now it's as good as it came off the assembly line.
Okay, so are there classic airplane shows like there are for cars?
Absolutely. Yeah,
really?
there's lots of air shows at different local airports. Totally something to go in, especially if you're interested in like science, technology, engineering, math. It's a great place to get exposed to aerospace engineering, different products that have existed, different aircraft that existed over the years. Everybody shows their stuff. It's a good time.
Really? Okay. So, how long did it take you to get here?
To get here? Well, it was about 45 minutes today. I kind of made a trip up to Hatchby to spend the night at a friend's, and then zipped over here in the morning.
Oh, you just zipped over?
Just zipped over, just cruising like a leisurely 150 something miles an hour.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Okay, well, during the interview here, we're going to take a look at your plane, and
Absolutely.
It'll be included in this. So, hey, is there any more information you can tell me about your plane or your trip here, or how you tie in with Route 66?
Honestly, it's a great, obviously the Mother Road,
Right.
America's Main Street America, is something I've enjoyed traveling in vehicles. This is a different way to see it by air.
Right.
I know during the lighting of Roy's sign, there's a lot of aircraft that came here. I wasn't able to attend during that event. So it was a thing I needed to do, and this is a good excuse to do it.
Oh, okay, right, that's good. Okay, so what's the furthest distance that you've flown, like for
my little Cessna? So I'm originally from New York.
Oh,
so
really?
I actually fly home to New York once or twice a year. And last year I actually flew to New York, then down to the Florida Keys, and then all the way back to California. So I do a fair amount of long distance flying in my Cessna.
So how long did that trip to New York take you?
So it's about 2 days to get across.
Okay.
Generally, depending on the winds and things, you can do a little faster, but.
Okay, are you going alone, or do you have somebody with you, or?
I've done both.
Okay.
Yeah, depends on the day, but hopefully going to set off on a new cross-country trip soon, so I'm very excited about that.
Wow, I'm impressed. Okay. Interesting. See, I learned something I didn't know today, and I didn't. Yeah. Well, that's great.
It's an amazing thing. Like if you look at older aircraft like mine, they were built to handle rugged runways that weren't well paved, weren't well maintained. A lot of them were grass back in the day. So a very small amount of improvised landing strip, like a place here, actually gives this place access to every runway in the area. So it's a great thing to have. So yeah.
Right.
Support
Yeah.
your local runways.
Yeah, I have to get some footage of that runway too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing that information.
Of course.
All right, and it was good to meet you.
It's good to meet you.